The Soviet Union itself is no more.
The United States military has begun strikes.
Light them all up.
Считаю, что для современного мира однополярная модель не только неприемлема, но и вообще невозможна.
Народные республики Донбасса обратились к России с просьбой о помощи. Мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции.
Is taking chips from dishwashers and refrigerators to fix their military hardware. Russia's industry is in tatters.
Putin is now isolated from the world more than he has ever been.
Hello, welcome back. It doesn't feel like a Sunday. It doesn't feel like a Sunday. I don't know why.
Well, the class happening and also not happening.
Also, yeah, a Groundhog Day maybe, but we do have some rants to share, some emotions to offload maybe. But first, I'm just going to give you guys some quick housekeeping. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed yet, please hit that button. YouTube, X, wherever you're watching. We are shadow banned everywhere. And if you want to go a step further, we have paid subscriptions available on all of our platforms, Substack, YouTube, and X. They're all there. And the money goes directly into keeping Chris running in Moscow and keeping our admin from starving in the various countries they live in. We also have merch. Please go visit. Everything is on the website, though, not just merch, but our merch is on the website at ddgeopolitics.com. There's also ways to contact us. You can see all the countries where our admin are from, and no taxes and free shipping and no tariffs on anything anything at all, shipping to everywhere in the world. And we on our Substack, we have a new writer who is exposing a lot of really scary stuff in regards to Paolo Sampoli. He's actually taken a notice of her. We talked about him a little bit on the stream, but I highly, highly recommend you guys, especially if you're American, to keep an eye on this guy. And I published an article, I was either on Wednesday or Thursday, who knows, every day feels the same these days, but about our new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh. We've actually talked about him a little bit on the stream, especially in regards to his father-in-law, who you can see there on the right. That's Ron Lauder, for those of you who don't know, president of the World Jewish Congress. And obviously the ladies might recognize his last name, as he is the son of Estee Lauder. Well, her name's Esther Lauder, but Estee Lauder Cosmetics fame. And really interesting, I found out a lot of really interesting things when I was researching that article, is that there's a little bit of a fight over Donald Trump going on between the Adelson sort of clan and the Lauder clan, and I didn't know this, and then getting Lauder's son-in-law, who is Kevin Warsh, into the Fed chair seat is like a huge win. And I'm an idiot when it comes to economics, especially the Fed, and American economics is such a crapshoot anyway. I didn't realize like how much sort of political power the Fed actually wields because of the way that they sort of influence these business deals and the value of the actual currency itself. So having his son-in-law in office, if you guys don't know, Ron Lauder is one of the architects behind the Greenland Plan. He's one of the architects behind the lithium grab in Ukraine and some of the turmoil we're seeing in Latin and South America. So very interesting that his son-in-law is now Donald Trump's Fed chair after we got to have a front seat to him pushing out Jerome Powell, who was like, reminded me a lot of Ron Paul for some reason. Very grandfatherly sort of uncle sort of guy. But yeah, so check those articles out on the Substack if you guys haven't already. And if you have, please share them with people, as we have a really hard time getting our Substack out there, because X actually purposefully suppresses Substack links and Substack shares. Also on Wednesday, we are having a guest, Matt Kennard, author of Irregular Army. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this book. I've recommended it dozens of times, but Matt Kennard is author of Irregular Army, How the U.S. Military Recruited Neo-Nazis, Gang Members, and Criminals. I've read the previous edition. This updated edition just came out in March, and it connects all of the stuff in the previous editions to MAGA extremism, January 6th, and what we're now seeing with the Iran war. A really important conversation. And he posted the other day, as the white nationalists in the Trump administration begin a new crusade in Iran, this book couldn't be more urgent. So I'm sure that'll be a pretty good conversation. And Chris,
great conversation.
Yeah. But first, I want to give Chris the floor to let us know how he's doing and give us the lowdown on what is going on with our friend.
So I'm sure many of you are aware, but we have news that our beloved Alex Saab has now been basically sent to the United States to serve in a dungeon again. For those who don't know, Alex Saab was in 2020. He was basically on his way to Tehran, to Iran. Look at how these things connect. He was on his way from Venezuela to Tehran, landed for a refueling stop in Cabo Verde, right? And then it was there where U.S. authorities, a day later, they basically stopped him, they had the local authorities seize him. They threatened to attack the island nation if they didn't take him. A day later, they created a warrant for his arrest and basically cooked up the scheme, even though it technically came after the fact that he was detained. So it's technically illegal to do something like that, but they did that. And then he basically served for 3 years in prison until 4 years in prison, basically, until an exchange happened. And he was pardoned. And now he's being sent back again to the dungeons in the US to serve for these crimes. I saw Alex this past summer. There I am with Jackson. We spent a couple days with Alex in Venezuela, in Caracas. and we were able to have conversations with him. I had been part of the Free Alex Saab campaign. I got to be good friends with his wife's sister, all the crew down there. There's a lot of interesting news that you might have read that we posted from Rebar. A lot of those things over the summer were being discussed. And as you can see, the Venezuelan government has given him up, just like they gave up Maduro and his wife, just like they gave up over 30 Cubans to the Epstein empire. They've given up Saab again to languish in a dungeon. By the way, Saab has, I think, 8 children. Some of them his own, some of them adopted. And I spoke to his wife today, and I can't go into details, but they're in a very difficult situation. So I want to say to all the people who keep on saying and shilling for Delcy Rodriguez, who keep on saying, "Oh no, the revolution continues and Viva Bolivar, Viva Chavez," but they don't say Viva Maduro anymore. I just want to say that the people who are extra cope, like Craig Murray, Jody Brar, CPGBML, all these groups that are still out there, what do you make of this? What do you make of this? To me, at this point, today, that's it. That's it. It's the tombstone. I reached out to a bunch of people. I said, I'm never coming to Venezuela again. It's finished. Unless you all have another revolution, I'm done. Venezuela's done. And at this point, you're a neo-colony, and that's it. It's not safe for anybody to travel there. And that's my end of the rant there.
No, that's not the end. I'm so glad you opened this door, because I was the first one, and I won't mention her, not first one. I was one of the first ones, but I won't mention her name, but she came after me when I was like, this is done. Delcy is like, this is done. Once the ship took the oil from Venezuela to Israel, I was like, it's over. And then I meant to upload it. I didn't even bring it up to you or the producer, but I meant to upload it. Trump posted a map with Venezuela covered in the American flag that said 51st state. And I said, it's over. That's the end. That's put a fork in it. She is done. That is the end. Freaking Maduro is signing teddy bears for 6ix9ine or whatever the frig his name is in prison. Like, this is such a joke. This is a joke. It really is. And I'm so glad that you said that, as someone who has been to Venezuela and really loved that country and put a lot of themselves into it as a non-Venezuelan. I'm so glad that you said it, because I feel like an outsider just saying it as like a, not minding my own business. So I'm very, I'm glad that you said it. It's disheartening.
I hear people in the comments saying I don't agree, or they're skeptical. I just don't know listen, at the end of the day, they were against the Iran war. Immediately within 24 hours, they renounced their position. The foreign ministry literally took down their solidarity position with Iran. They sent oil to Israel. They've allowed for major investments. They broke apart all the projects that Alex Saab made with the Global South. They cut the supplies to China. There's no big campaign to release Maduro and his wife from the US. There's no compensation and no public grieving in the major sense for those killed. I just don't understand, what kind of revolution are we looking at this point? Okay, the social programs, they still exist, but the social programs exist now as a byproduct of the system that is being neo-colonized right now, and it won't last forever. I guarantee you they're going to be privatized that fast. So I don't know why people are thinking that, oh, nothing. I just don't want the cope. I understand we're in a declining phase now, although Iran for us has given us all hope. It seems to me that the Shia of Imam Ali, they're on the move. They're going to fight for everybody and everything at this point. They're the only salvation. And the alliance in Russia that's fighting against NATO in Ukraine. But I don't understand how Venezuela literally rolled over. Venezuela's not even helping Cuba now. Cuba is on death's doorstep here. Who's helping Cuba? Only Russia helped Cuba. Only Russia has sent fuel to Cuba. So I just don't, at this point, I don't see Delcy Rodriguez's government as being Chavista. A lot of friends of mine who were in the government have no job anymore. They've been removed from the government. A lot of our friends have been removed from the government, and a lot of people have privately told me, how can I get to Russia? So I just want people to know, maybe you don't see it in the public, but in private, things are really bad.
Well, and also when I saw her wish happy Passover.
We saw that too.
I was like, there's a reason, not because I'm being anti-Semitic. I'm just saying these are messages that I read into. I'm like, that's a message.
Yeah.
She's sending a message. She said something about their friends in Israel and all of this crap. It was
I mean,
yeah. It was
come on, guys. You know what's going on here. Come on.
serious.
And yes, all of our friends from the World Anti-Imperialist Platform, of which I'm a member, who were imprisoned in Kenya, have been released. We are looking for justice in Kenya. But of course, my criticism, of course, it doesn't go antagonistically against that. We love our comrades. Although some of our comrades have called me a spy, even recently.
Oh wait, I meant to upload that picture.
While I was listen. While I was in Iran, some big accounts started to say, "Oh, Iran's not doing a good job. Why did they allow this spy in there?" Basically alluding that I'm some spy. Until the Iranians, of course, well, they know everything. So it's not like until other people saw like 35 of my family members come to the hotel, one who'd been injured in a US Tomahawk cruise missile strike. And they were like, those are your family members? Whoop! And I said, please, I don't have to brag or anything, but I just,
Everybody commented, they were like, he's smiling too much. Tell him to stop smiling so much.
Listen, I love to smile, okay? I love to smile.
Smiles.
Revolutionary optimism, Except at some places I did not smile that are more like, really emotional, like Minab. I'm not going to smile at Minab. What to smile at Minab for? Or, at loudest and most charismatic spy. There you go.
You look like a spy right now. You got the black mock, you've got the hair, you got your little drink. Very. I saw a thread about you the other day. I love when I see threads about you. They're my favorite because I'm like, oh my God.
He worked at an international law firm. I'm like, yeah, bro, I needed a job for 8 months. Sue me, and I was working for the Russia office. What? They're like, oh.
They're like, there were some right wingers involved, and I'm like, yeah, you guys only did a thread on me. Like,
Listen, I love the fact that people online are smarter than the FSB, Chinese intelligence, North Korean intelligence, Iranian intelligence, Yemeni, Iraqi, Lebanese. I'm just saying that's a lot of intelligence to fumble at this point. And they've all had my phone. I willingly give it up. I will never give up my phone and never have to the US government unless they forcibly seize it from me. I gladly give it up to these guys and give them the passcode. No problem. I have nothing to hide.
There's this amazing photo of you. I don't know if they made it or what, but it was an old photo of you, obviously. But they had made it into like a psychedelic tie-dye sort of.
Yeah, it's the picture. Yeah, it's my long hair picture.
Our thumbnail. That looked like an album cover. I was like, what are they doing?
No, really, it looked like I was somehow like a 60s kind of hippie, like rocker, psychedelic rock. I'm at Woodstock or something.
Yes, it looked like a concert, flyer, I'm seeing Chris Halali,
I'm seeing Chris Halali, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Yeah, of course. I was like, okay, guys, I just don't listen. There's nothing on me at this point. They've got nothing on us. They've got nothing.
Oh my, John. Anyway, now my rant seems so trivial, but yeah, I was gonna reach a rant about leaving X, but I don't even care anymore. I'm just I left X because I'm just sick of the Groundhog Day.
Wait, you're gone again?
I locked down my account. I left on Friday.
Oh, what? I didn't even notice. What?
I just locked it down. I'm just
you locked it down. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just so tired of the same things. And everybody, I was watching a streamer, the last 3 weeks, obviously, you guys have probably noticed I've been pretty low energy. Chris has been traveling and the producers also been traveling. And even when they got back, I was still blah. And it's these people, I even watched a streamer, one of the streamers I love to watch. There's this guy, Steven. He hosts this show called Agenda Free TV. He doesn't mean to be hilarious. I just find him so endearing and hilarious. You have to check him out. But he covered the Louisiana Republican primary last night. I was like, is this really what we're talking about? Is that how the news is? And I was just so people are arguing and fighting over, I ranted in our last episode about party primaries. In representative races, not even the presidential race. They're fighting over this. I'm weeks ago, we were all kind of coming to a consensus that they all had to go. and that like this Epstein class had to go, and everybody associated with them, everybody in the files had to go, and all that. And the person, and obviously because I watched the stream, the person who won, the lady who won last night, is endorsed by Trump, and the guy who lost, the incumbent who lost, which incumbents never lose in Senate races, he was ousted because he voted to impeach Trump. So we're really just going back into the same swamp. It's really.
Did we ever leave the swamp?
Well, no, but I thought we were kind of starting to like pick the leeches off of us when we were like talking about like, all right, we've got to do something about these Epstein people. And now it's like, we got to get rid of these MAGAteers. What are they called? MAGAteers?
It is true. Like we were all on board for ending the Epstein empire. And then the war in Iran started, and then it started to split everybody up. They're like, oh, well, Iran can't, Ayatollah. We can't have the mullahs. We can't have this religious theocracy. And then that kind of watered everything down. And now we're back to Hassan Piker being like, vote Democrat.
There you go. I just, yes.
Wait a minute. Weren't the Democrats also in the Epstein files?
Right. And I'm like, I did this in 2017, and I gave you a second chance in 2021. I'm not doing it in 2026, the year of our Lord. I'm not doing it. And for all the people who just got involved in politics, thank you for getting involved. I just want to tell you, we've already done this before. Like a lot of people are just kind of getting involved in this side of politics. We've done this before many times. So it's just, I needed a break from all of it. Because the rhetoric is about like who owns America first and whose trash pile smells better or something. I don't even know. It's just like this. It's like streamer wars, and there's streamers running for office, and speaking of streamers running for office, so then we'll start to kind of get into the.
I'm technically a streamer in office.
You are.
You are.
You need a reality show. Do you remember? Now I'm going to date myself here. I don't care. Do you remember The Hills? Laguna Beach, the show.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Do you remember the villain who was abusive to his girlfriend? His name was Spencer. His girlfriend was Heidi.
Heidi was the blonde one.
Yes, Heidi was the blonde, skinny one. And then her boyfriend.
Small, skinny blonde.
She's pretty.
Yeah.
And she had that like kind of abusive, weirdo, drunkard boyfriend named Spencer. And okay, so here he is, if you guys don't remember him. But here's Spencer. Reese, this is
he's doing rock crystals shit and energy stuff.
Yeah, okay. The reason why I'm talking about him, okay, and you guys might remember that after the Heidi thing or the Hills, Laguna Beach, he went on to do they went on a whole reality rigmarole. They did Survivor, they did like couples shows, just total grifter weirdos. He believed in the Mayan apocalypse. So okay, they were.
Is this the Mayan calendar? Like 20? What was it? 2012?
Yeah, they were stars at the height of the hill. At the height of that show, they were worth $10 million. Him and his wife, and they were making almost $200,000 per episode. They blew all of it. There's stories everywhere. You guys could go look it up. He blew it all on $4,000 bottles of wine and crystals, expecting the Mayan apocalypse to come.
Wait,
what? Yes. What?
Wait, they spent $12 million?
$2 million on crystals, rose quartz, healing stones, and they had to be delivered by crane to his house, like a crane, not the bird, but like an actual crane. So that's, they blew it all on that. The rest went $30,000 on shopping spree, $4,000 bottles of wine, $15,000 a night bodyguards. And he was quoted as saying, "We're keeping up with the Joneses, but we were going against Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. We should have stayed in our reality TV lane." Blew through the entire fortune.
Wait, $15,000 a night bodyguards?
Yeah, because he was so hated. Do you remember? Well, you might not remember, but I was a little bit into the pop culture. He was very hated. People really hated him. And of course, the plastic surgery, hundreds of thousands.
No, I understand that, but $15,000 a night bodyguards?
I don't know, man.
We're in the wrong profession, Sarah. You and I,
bodyguard.
We can build. I'm coming in. I'm coming in.
So you look like a bodyguard.
He's doing his bodyguard for $15K a night.
Iranians bodyguards I know four different Iranian bodyguards.
Hmm.
Not in Iran, like elsewhere. They're like, I mean, anyway. But I guess this is like the strong, silent type, the way Iranians are. Anyway, the reason why I'm bringing up Spencer, I'm not just bringing him up because I want to talk about crystals. I don't really know anything about crystals though. Is that he's running for mayor of Los Angeles, which makes the crystals thing kind of that might be a selling point in LA.
He might get elected on that.
There's another selling point.
Oh, crystals and the Star of David. That is he in that picture?
Oh yeah, he's the one with the flag.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Is that his lady next to him?
No, that's someone else. But this is about a couple months ago or a couple days ago, week or two ago.
Wow.
You guys can follow James Lee. He's really following the LA race closely. So he's running against Karen Bass and this Indian woman, Cynthia Ramtha, something like that. But anyway, so in February, Spencer's sister came out and said, LA does not need another unqualified and inexperienced mayor. A vote for him is a vote for stupidity. He beat me up when I was 18 and put me in the hospital. So no, he doesn't belong in the government. He's the one who got me hooked on hardcore drugs at 15. I've kept this all a secret for years. He also had a hidden drug addiction. At least hire someone with work experience who wasn't in a cult, end quote. She also claimed that after leaving the cult, Spencer and Heidi went to Costa Rica and were arrested for illegal firearms. He hasn't spoken to his family for 8 years because of the cult. And he called his dad from jail to bail him out. Wow. He's holding at second place. Now, you guys, Los Angeles mayoral races are runoffs, both the dual party runoffs. So all the candidates go forward, you vote, and then they go, I think top 2 or top 3 go into a runoff. So he may make a runoff and go up against President or Mayor Bass. And not that I love Mayor Bass. This is not an endorsement for her. She's another, but I mean, this is so MAGA. It doesn't get more MAGA than this. And this is something, and I bring it up because this is an example of a kind of a local, smaller election that people are really getting involved in and fighting about it online, and has really like gripped people and polarized people. And it's, again, made people lose sight of what's going on to own the libs, which it's like, you're all the same. There's really no difference. Like it's disheartening.
But really, what's going on in California?
Oh, well. I mean, his house did burn down in the Palisades. That's another thing. These people, I'm sorry, but right now at a time like this, I don't give a shit that your $1 million or whatever dollar home in the Palisades burned down and now you live in like the Beverly Hills Hotel. I just don't care. I don't understand how that's supposed to evoke sympathy, especially while you wave around the flag of a genocidal state.
Yeah, of course. What? And wait a second. Did he have insurance on the house, or who's paying for the hotel?
I don't know how any of this stuff works. I don't know. He's using, he parked an Airstream trailer to say like, oh, I'm living here. I should have posted, I wanted to put up a clip, but I decided not to, so it's too long and too abrasive. But he put up an Airstream trailer for show in front of where the burned out home is, but they live in a hotel. And then when someone confronted him about, well, you made a big show of doing this huge, like hundreds of thousands of dollars he spent to crane this Airstream trailer instead of driving it in. He wanted to crane it in so he could use it for a commercial. He's not even living in it. When he was confronted about it, he said, well, it's because people are threatening my life. Everything is just so like snowflake with these people. Crystals, Israel, $50,000 bodyguards night, but you're a tough guy. Okay. I get it.
I don't know what to say.
This is the MAGA golden child. This is the example of the cesspool that we're really in over here. This person is the MAGA golden child. He will probably get endorsed by Trump.
But listen, speaking of a former MAGA golden child that's no longer in the MAGA cult, did you see our shaman?
I saw something a couple weeks ago.
He commented on some of our stuff. He commented on a couple of my posts.
Should we have him on? Guys, should we have the QAnon shaman on?
Absolutely. Bring him on. I want to know what's inside of his head. But also he's gone off. He's like off the reservation.
Off the reservation. What is he doing?
I don't know, but he's no longer with the MAGA crew. He's like, but he's like more in like deep conspiracies, like, and the aliens are coming and shit like that. But in any case, I want to talk to him. I want to see what's going on. What's going on in your life?
Aliens are coming? Busy in the Paula White.
I hope you mean Paula White, like the Paula White.
Well, yeah, like as he, what does he mean? Oh, never mind. She's angels are coming. He's aliens.
Yeah, angels are coming. No, he's aliens are coming.
Our
aliens,
government officials say the same thing. So yeah, doesn't really matter. Speaking of alien versus angels, or maybe alien versus predator, Trump went to China.
I love that.
He just got back from 2 days in Beijing. First U.S. president to China since, I think, Trump in 2017. So 9 years.
9 years.
Here, I love this. They went. This is our teachable moment. Again, these people think way too highly of us Americans. Here is Xi talking about Thucydides Trap. For those of you who don't know, but he's talking to the Americans.
The whole world is watching our meeting. Currently, transformation not seen in a century is accelerating across the globe, and the international situation is fluid and turbulent. The world has come to a new crossroads. Can China and the United States overcome the Thucydides Trap and create a new paradigm of major country relations? Can we meet global challenges together and provide more stability for the world? Can we, in the interests of the well-being of our two peoples and the future of humanity, build a brighter future together for our bilateral relations? These are the questions vital to history, to the world, and to the people. They are the questions of our times that you and I need to answer as leaders of major countries. This year...
So I should have sped that up. Sorry, guys. It's a little slow because of the translation. And because English doesn't translate well from Chinese, they're a lot more flowery than English. But you see there, he's talking about Thucydides Trap. So what do you guys know? Most people, this actually reminded me of that time when... You remember this?
Of course.
Breakfast de Tocqueville, who I'm sure most Americans have read. And he was serious. He was serious.
Of course. We Iranians are well read.
You guys think these guys think too highly of us, and you've been expecting anybody at the table to know what Thucydides Trap is. Maybe Elon Musk knew?
No. You know who knows Thucydides Trap? Who was the general that Trump kicked out? Not in his first term. The one that was, I think it was Navy or Army. I don't remember. Well, his last name began with an M. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, he had Thucydides on the reading list, and he mentioned Thucydides Trap in Congress. Huh?
Mearsheimer is a very big fan of Thucydides Trap.
No. Mearsheimer, of course. He's a PhD in political science, of course. No, it wasn't Milley. It was the other guy. Trying to remember. Mattis talked about Thucydides Trap all the time.
Here's some cute little infographics I found. Obviously, some examples are Japan versus the United States in the early 20th century, the US versus the Soviet Union, and now we have obviously in the China-US context. Here's another one. This was done by, I think, Gemini and Grok. You can see like external crises trigger war, the historical examples. I also have a short clip on what is Thucydides Trap. We'll see how it is. I don't know how great it is. I think we can do better, which I think we should improve upon, but let's see what they say.
Over 2 millennia ago, the rapid ascent of Athens terrified Sparta, triggering the catastrophic Peloponnesian War. This ancient bloodshed birthed a vital geopolitical framework, the Thucydides Trap. Coined by political scientist Graham Allison, this structural stress occurs whenever a rising power threatens to displace an established ruling hegemon. It is not driven by minor policy disputes, but rather the psychological terror of a shifting global hierarchy. Historically, this dynamic makes conflict between titans seem inevitable. Yet, understanding this trap remains our primary mechanism for potentially avoiding it. The ultimate test is whether modern diplomacy can dismantle the fuse.
I gotta say, of course, this affects me personally because on my Greek side, my mom's from Mani, from Sparta, from Laconia, like that's where I'm from. So we Spartans really are not fans of Athenians, nor of any other city-state. So, at the end of the day, I am pro-Peloponnesian War. We had to go after Athens at this point, and we had to defend Sparta's hegemony of the Greek city-states. And Sparta was better. Sparta was paleo-communism. It was much better than Athens. Athens was a degenerate society. We Spartans, we had great things. Great things. And if you haven't read about Sparta, go check out Plutarch in his Life of Lycurgus, and you can learn all about our Spartan ways, which were fantastic.
We was Spartans. I bet you guys never thought that was going to happen.
Yes. But people don't know, by the way, just as an aside, people don't know the people of the Mani Peninsula are genetically the closest to Spartans, and that's where all my ancestors are from. But it's very interesting because they left. But this is very interesting. This is a connect to history. That's what we do here at DD Geopolitics. We connect history for you. After Sparta fell and the Romans came, many of the Spartans also went to the Mani Peninsula, which was very mountainous and very secluded. And they basically sat there, and they were they were the last to convert to Orthodox Christianity too, later in like the 9th, 10th, 11th century. But when the Ottomans came, the Ottomans never took the Mani Peninsula. We paid our way, and it was so difficult to take it that the Ottomans simply just gave up. But it was from there that we reached out to who? Tsarina, Catherine the Great. We worked with all of the great generals and naval admirals of the Russian Empire, and it was from there that the first flame of the Greek War of Independence was launched. And of course, we were very pro-Russian, as we still are.
Let's throw you.
See, there you go.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that there's a history lesson for everybody.
Oh, there's more, but wait. And the reason why I did like that video though was because they touched upon the psychological aspect of it. It doesn't mean that physical war is inevitable, but it's about the psychology of decline. The dominant power doesn't want to accept that its time is passing, and it starts to get paranoid. It misreads the intentions of other countries. Domestic politics push toward nationalism. Both sides will start to build up forces, and then some small crisis may trigger something bigger. And I think that the United States is a bit on that edge at this point, that paranoia edge. I see a lot of all of the things they say about like Stalin and Kim are actually true about Trump, those sorts of things. Also, I was watching some kind of, not trash streamers, but mindless streamers lately. And these people really are obsessed with China. They don't know why. I was watching an interview with Kevin O'Leary. He's one of the guys that wants to build data centers. He wants to build one the size of Manhattan in Utah. He can't explain why. He just keeps saying it's because China, and we're in a race with China. We have to beat China. These people are obsessed with China. They don't know why. And that's why I kind of like that video said psychological. It's a lot of it is psychological. A lot of it is in their head. We joke around and say, "Oh, are the Chinese in the room with us now? Is the Chinese AI under the bed?" It's that psychological aspect of it, that the empire knows it's in decline, and it's too stupid to figure out a way to kind of placate this. So they lash out and think that war is inevitable. If you listen to the tech bros, especially, they're obsessed with war with China. They think it's absolutely inevitable. It's coming, and I don't think it is inevitable.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Listen, I think ultimately how you use AI is the big thing, don't you think? Like when you think about Palantir and all of these AI companies in the West, what are they using AI for?
Surveillance.
And?
Kill people.
Yes. What are the Chinese using AI for? Really? Are they at war with anybody?
No.
No, they're using the AI for solving desertification.
Yeah, desertification.
Yeah, they're doing AI for like giant bridge projects, and AI for this logistics, and AI for this energy stuff. When I was just in China, 2 months ago, It was unbelievable how they were using AI to solve very complex problems.
They use it for innovation.
Yeah.
They use it for improvement.
So it's not necessarily about AI in particular. It's also about how this AI is used. And I'll tell you one thing, the AI in the West is not being used for anybody's benefit at this point.
No, and guys, if you have time, he was on Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson did a great job interviewing him. But if you have time, go watch it. These are the people that are opening, buying, and running these data centers. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea why they're buying it. They have no idea what's going on. It's really insane. And, you know, and even in that, Tucker kind of pushes or kind of presses him on, you take money from taxpayers. This isn't capitalism. It's really a great interview. It kind of was, it's great because of how scary it is to me. But yeah, so I thought that these people, they are obsessed with China, and that is the trap. The trap is that you're trapping yourself. And that's why the Americans are falling into it.
Well, the thing is that if the logic of the system is that you have to continue to grow and to take more and to have more so that you can continue to grow the economy, this is one of the big traps of our own economic way of thinking. Instead of thinking about stable state economies and the fact that you can actually go to zero growth and maintain and just build up on your resources in terms of you don't have to always exceed, like we're always at the drive of, oh, the market's at 50,000, the market's at 60,000, the market's at 70,000. And how does the market get there? Because you're crushing this one, you're crushing that one, and you're going after these competitors. But if we were to change a little bit of how we conceive of what winning looks like, winning could be cooperation between the two great powers or the multiple great powers. This is the whole theory behind this multipolar reality. But the US as a hegemon doesn't want to give up that role. It doesn't. It can't. It can't. It feeds off of the system that it plunders, right?
Yeah.
And so in that way, why would it want to work on an even level with China?
Exactly.
You know. And by the way, China, like Trump keeps on saying, "Oh, I have a good relationship with President Xi Jinping. He's a great man, strong man." But at the same time, the U.S. government continues to say the Communist Party of China is a tremendous adversary and a threat, and they're doing this, and they're spying here, and Confucius Institutes, and this, that, and the other. Which one is it?
You need to go watch the interview because he calls it the CPP.
The CPP.
This is the CPPs after him, and the PSL.
Oh, the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Interesting. Wow.
The Chinese are the ones doing TikTok. He's like, you know, ever since I started buying this, like getting into this data center business, I really understand how algorithms work now. You guys have to watch it. It's really amazing. But it's these like delusions of grandeur, and then you fall into the trap. And then that's why people didn't understand like what was going on. Really, they thought that Xi had called America a declining nation in the past. No, he called us a declining nation to Trump's face. That's what saying we are in Thucydides Trap means. He's telling you, you're declining, I am rising. And he's telling him right to his face. And whether or not they realized that that was what was happening, this is Trump's imbecilic response. Screaming something about Biden, bark, 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 bark. He was actually just referring to the damage we suffered during the 4 years of Sleepy Joe Biden. My brother in the Antichrist, you have been president for over a year and you have done one of your own terms already. So
are you still talking about Biden?
Yeah, still talking about Biden. Still talking about Biden. Still blaming.
That's doorstep at this point. Like what?
Right.
I don't understand. But
this also is kind of it's not just, I posted it as a cope. It is a cope. A couple of weeks ago, MERS says, you know, that America suffered a bit of a humiliation in Iran, and then Trump couldn't handle that, so he withdraws troops out of Germany, right? Mm-hmm. But here he's saying, Xi just told me I'm a declining empire, and I totally agree. I'm like, Xi is your daddy. Xi really is his daddy. I should have uploaded the pic. He's like walking behind him, all hunched over, defeated. Xi is dog walked him all over the place.
But I'll tell you one thing: you got to imagine Trump goes to China and sees no crime, no poverty, safety, cleanliness, security. What does he have? What is he thinking in his mind about the US?
Does he even know how we live? Oh,
Probably not. Probably just from what Fox says and all the, stuff that he sees about California. But he's gotta see those clips of California streets and Arizona streets, and people are just like hunched over and drug addicted and things like that, and poverty and tent cities. He's got to know about that stuff, right?
yeah. I mean, I guess so. I have
And he
no
doesn't
idea.
see any of that in China.
Well, I mean, he doesn't give two shits about us.
That's true.
He let us know. I actually have a clip of that. This has been I think people aren't talking enough about this.
Democrats and political pundits jumped all over this statement that you made the other day. You were asked when you were leaving.
What extent are American financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters that I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about American financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
That's right. That's a perfect statement. I'd make it again.
You can imagine how many people stop the soundbite I don't think about America's financial situation. So what's your response to that framework?
It's very simple. When people hear me say it, everybody agrees. Short-term pain. It's going to be short-term pain. But the pain is much less than people thought, because people thought that the oil would go up to $250. It was $99 yesterday, $99 a barrel. I thought it might go up to $200. I was okay with that. Not that I wanted it, but you cannot let them have a nuclear weapon.
Remember that we played this actually 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago now, I don't remember. The short-term pain. Remember we had like a whole clip with a series. Everybody was a talking point. Yep. Short-term pain, long-term gain. Short-term pain, long-term gain. There he is doing it again.
Right. And then, of course, his lapdog, I think he went out today because, I think this is from Face the Nation, or it's one of the morning shows. But his lapdog, Lindsey Graham, went out to go defend him. And you guys, this is why I talked about the elections in the beginning. We're going to continue electing people that are pushing people out that because they went up against Trump, because Trump doesn't endorse them. This is what we're going to get.
At home, inflation has climbed to the highest annual rate in 3 years. Gas prices are at a 4-year high. Grocery prices are climbing. President Trump was pressed on how all of these factors impact how he views his negotiations with Iran. Take a look.
I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
Do you agree with the president that he shouldn't be taking Americans' financial situation into account when dealing with Iran?
That's his Churchill moment. When Churchill came into power, he promised blood, sweat, toil, heartache until we deal with the Nazis, who are an existential threat to the British way of life. And if Hitler had taken charge of the planet, it would have been the darkest hour in humanity. I believe Iran wants a nuclear weapon. They would use it. So does President Trump. They would use it as part of their religious agenda. They would destroy the Jewish state. They would eventually hold us hostage. So his audience, the Iranian regime, do I worry about gas prices? Yes. But President Trump's right. The biggest threat to the stability in the world is a nuclear-armed Iran, and whatever price we have to pay, we will pay. What did Churchill say? Whatever price we have to pay to beat Hitler, we will pay. Same with Iran. The good news, we're inside the 10-yard line. I think if we go back to military activity, weaken them further, then we can end this thing pretty soon.
Oh my God. These people are so out to lunch.
Churchill?
Really?
I just finished reading a book called The Foundations of Zionism. You guys should read it.
Oh, Sarah's cooking.
Yeah, it was written by a Palestinian author, but it was really good because it was really verbose and it went into
it's the PLO pamphlet series, isn't it? From one of those, it
was the liberated texts.
Yes, that's the new version of the old one. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so
it's like 80 pages.
It's like no, this is like 500. But yeah, it talks a lot about Winston Churchill. It's just funny that they keep citing him as Winston Churchill was one of the driving forces behind Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how Trump telling us he doesn't care about us as his Churchill moment, I guess, because Churchill was also a disgusting capitalist pig.
Oh, he was?
I'm not really sure.
By the way, who funded and bankrolled the Third Reich?
Are we allowed to say that?
I mean, yes, it's a historical fact. I mean, there's nothing. The U.S. and the British had a bigger hand to play in that.
Yeah, and the U.S. and the British and the Ukrainians.
Yes. And what did the Soviets do? The Soviets kept on saying, can somebody reach an alliance with us so we can stop the Nazis? And finally, after everybody reached their own agreement with the Nazis, then you had the Molotov-Ribbentrop. But people assumed that it was just Molotov and Ribbentrop, but it wasn't. The Polish had reached an agreement with the Nazis. The Czech had released. Everybody had reached an agreement with the Nazis except the Soviets. And they were like, well, now we're the odd person out, so we got to reach an agreement as well. Yeah.
Churchill was also a genocidal maniac, so I guess it makes sense. No regard for anybody but his sort of. Well, we have the Epstein elites. Churchill had the Rothschild elites.
Yep.
I mean, the Epstein elites are just Rothschild elites, but still.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess maybe this is a Churchill moment. We're just looking at it the wrong way.
Yep.
But the reason why it's good to play Lindsey Graham is because and thankfully I paid attention to maybe they do matter. I'm coming around on my own point here, is that if we keep electing people, the woman that won last night won because she was endorsed by Trump, and the guy who lost was lost because he had a slew of negative press because he voted to impeach Trump.
Really?
We're going to get more Lindsey Grahams. We're going to get more of the same. We're going to get more of this.
Oh.
We keep on electing these MAGA acolytes. And so we've kind of lost sight of what's going on. And we're back to a religious war about Iran's nuclear weapon and Winston Churchill and just a bunch of nonsense.
Iran, I was told today, I have intelligence, Iran's going to have a nuclear weapon in 2 hours.
I should have actually used that to transition to the Iran section, but there's some other stuff I do want to play from the China trip. So here's we posted about this. Here's Trump talking to, this is to Hannity about some business deals that went on.
What does he want from the U.S.?
A lot of things. We talked about a lot of things. Too many things to discuss, but a lot of things. We had a very good meeting, but we want things from them. One thing he agreed to today is going to order 200 jets. That's a big thing. Boeing. 200 big ones. That's a lot of jobs. It's a lot. Boeing wanted 150. He got 200. He said, I think it was a commitment. I mean, sort of like a statement, but I think it was a commitment.
Boeing. Tell me who can't deliver a plane order for 14-year backlog. 14-year backlog. This is the thing, is that they just say these things.
We don't have any confirmation of this from the Chinese side, I believe.
They have contracts with Airbus. China
Correct.
only uses Airbus because of the issues that America wants to cause with trade wars and tariffs, and how utilizing Boeing gives America way too much control over China's air traffic. And so they started using Airbus. They've even just in this year alone, they've purchased, they ordered $21.4 billion worth of contracts from Airbus in 2026 alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and everybody remind you, before Trump went over to China, the CEO of, I think the CEO of Boeing was with him, but she was begging him to allow orders to come from these countries that he had restricted, because the company is about to go out of business because they can't fulfill any of their orders. And he just uses this as lies to just further manipulate the stock market. And just, have we seen any results from all of the huge deals he got from his Gulf trip?
Nope.
They even want their plane back.
Do they? Does Qatar want the plane back?
They did. There were some rumblings of that. Yeah. Some rumblings of that.
I love it. Oh, by the way, I have intelligence that Iran's going to have a weapon within 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30
I heard
minutes.
that Kevin O'Leary's data center wants to build a nuclear weapon.
But you see how stupid it is? Every damn day. 30 minutes, an hour. Next month, next week, next 2 weeks. This one, that one. Is it? Come on, guys. Come on. No, of course, everyone, just chill. I'm not serious. Obviously, I'm not serious. There's a fatwa against building an atomic bomb. Come on.
Oh my God, that you just left Iran and you're saying this. Jesus. Okay, let's segue to Taiwan.
We talked, by the way, last night we talked the whole night about that issue. I think I know more about Taiwan right now than I know about almost any country.
You think it dominated the talk?
It's always been his most important thing from the day I knew him years ago. I've known him now 11 years, 12 years. It's always been the biggest thing for him, Taiwan. Now, with me, I don't think they'll do anything when I'm here. When I'm not here, I think they might, to be honest with you. But I'm not sure that they do anything if it remained as is. But they have somebody there now that wants to go independent. Well, it's a risky thing when you go independent. You know, they're going independent because they want to get into a war and they figure they have the United States behind them. I'd like to see it stay the way it is. And I'll tell you something. I'll make a little news. I'd like to see everybody making chips over in Taiwan come into America because, to be honest with you, I think it's the greatest thing you can do because it's a heated situation. There's no question about it. And as you know, we have massive amounts of chip companies now from Taiwan already coming in. We expect to have 40 to 50% of the world chip business by the end of my term. And I think it should be even more than that. I think all of those chip companies, if they're smart, they're going to start heading to Arizona and the places where they're building. That's going to solve the problem.
Okay, chips. Sure. What did Taiwan say?
We also thank President Trump for his continued support for security in the Taiwan Strait since his first term. We will further deepen Taiwan-U.S. cooperation and, through strength, bring peace, ensuring that the security and stability of the Taiwan Strait are not threatened or undermined.
What a backdrop, by the way.
So, it's like just delusions. I'm letting you in on a little secret that nobody else knows about. But all is not lost because Trump ended his trip with a massive, my cup of Coke runneth over. Here it is.
You said that this summit is a success. As you get ready to head back to Washington, what's the most significant, specific thing you walk away from here for the U.S.?
I think the most important thing is relationship. It's all about relationship. I have a very good relationship with President Xi and with China. And it sounds like something that doesn't mean anything, but it's everything. In deal making and problems we've solved, the two of us have solved a lot of problems that somebody else would have maybe done very badly with. We've solved a lot of problems over the years. We have a very good relationship. Trade has been very strong. We're getting a lot of soybeans for our farmers. We're doing a lot of, there's a lot of things happening for the farmers. He committed to 200 Boeings, big ones, 777s and 737s, and a lot of big ones, big, beautiful Boeing planes, 200, that's a lot, with a commitment that if they do a good job, and I told this to Boeing and General Electric, we're going to go to the General Electric engines, which are great. If they do a good job, we could go up to 750.
750?
It's all about the relationship. It was a big win. We're friends. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing else to report.
Okay, bro.
You guys might not think it's a big deal, but it is.
It's a big deal. By the way, after Trump left, what did Xi Jinping do?
Probably sanitized the entire city.
And invited?
Putin. Putin's on his way. We should have uploaded the video where Trump was like, I think he asked him something, do leaders come here a lot? And she was like, no, but Putin's come.
Putin's come, of course. And he was like, oh, okay, I can accept being, third wheel.
Yeah, third wheel. Sloppy seconds. More like it. Sloppy seconds. But Time magazine did come out today with their headline saying that Trump's China trip underscores how power has shifted east.
Of course it has.
And I think that America is falling into Thucydides Trap, with the Pentagon had just requested $1.45 trillion next year's defense budget, 40% more than this fiscal year. So we're spending ourselves into oblivion on a war going nowhere. And Xi knows it, with a cabal of tech bros and whoever else that think the next war with China is completely inevitable. While Taiwan visits China and strengthens their ties and mentions nothing about chips. I'm just hearing that this is just coming in, was posted on the White House. I'm hoping it's a typo. President Trump and President Xi confirmed that their shared goal to denuclearize North Korea.
Not happening. Not happening. Good luck. Not happening at all. And I say this as the exec of the North Korean Solidarity for the DPRK International Solidarity Group. It's not happening.
You and your drink. We're gonna pretend it's vodka.
It's just water. I'm just thirsty.
I know it's water, but I'm pretending that it's not. It's more fun that way. There are 16 cases that Graham Allison studied when he did his popularization and essay on Thucydides Trap, and also in 12 of those 16 cases ended in war. Where we are case 17. So maybe an examination of those cases one by one is in order.
Listen, at this point, I gotta say, there is, first and foremost, the DPRK was always close to China, but the DPRK's relationship with Russia now is second to none. Like they are literally joint. They're building bridges with each other. They're doing, like, Russian tourists are allowed to do pretty much anything they want in the DPRK. They have their own resorts. They can go anytime. They don't need so I just want people to know that there's no way that I can foresee the DPRK, denuclearizing. That was an option before, long before it was talked about. But after what Kim Jong-un has seen happen in Syria, in Iran, especially with the genocide in Gaza, everywhere else with Maduro in Venezuela, before that with his father Kim Jong-il and what happened with Libya, please give me a break. You think that he's going to give up? I don't think so.
Well, from one based Kim to based Arakchi. This is Iraq. We're going to talk a little bit about Iran. Some weird stuff going on there. Not in Iran, in the theater.
In the region.
In the region. But first, let's take a look. This is Arakchi from the 15th, so Friday.
As you all know, we are now in the state of ceasefire, although it's very shaky. But we are trying to keep it in order to give diplomacy a chance, so a diplomatic solution, a negotiated solution can be found. As a matter of fact, there is no military solution to anything related to Iran. They have tested us times and again. We never bow to any pressure or threat, and we resist against any aggression, against any pressure. We also resist against any sanction.
All Iranians are like that, literally. They're all like that. Yeah, well, you on your Iranian side is, but sometimes your Opa side comes out.
Oh yeah, of course. But also the Iranian side can have its Opa moments too.
Yeah, well, you hear they're more. They reserve that for certain times. They're not as Americans are very boisterous. Greeks, Europeans are very boisterous.
Yes.
Iranians are they're like cute. They're like very, I don't know how, it's like suave about it. I don't know how to say it. It's like there's like an aura.
But Iraqis, at least.
No, they're crazy. Alicia! Oh God, they're crazy. Oh well, we love you.
Habibi!
I did in Iraq. That's why I didn't want to go home. We love Iraq. But yes, he says, obviously in his calm, cool, and collected way, that the ceasefire is very shaky. There's another clip of him. It's much longer. It's on the big account if you guys want to watch it. But he does reiterate that there's no reason to trust the Americans. Those are interesting statements to be juxtaposed. There's no military solution, and we have no reason to trust America. So how do we solve this if there's no military solution in Iran and there's no reason to trust the Americans? How do they reach a diplomatic solution here?
Yeah, that's a big question.
America is a mess. It's like a thorn in the side of the universe right now.
For sure.
So that's kind of the situation that Iraqchi is kind of putting forth. Is we can't trust them, and there's obviously no military solution. So, and I'm reading a book right now called All the Shah's Men by Stephen Kinzer.
Great book. Read it in school.
Right, and by Stephen Kinzer. If you guys haven't read it, read it. Only because I'm reading the negotiations with Mossadegh and during the nationalization of the oil, and I'm like, this, you could literally just replace all of the characters and just leave the story the same. And it's the same exact negotiations process between the British and the Iranians as now the Americans and the Iranians. It's so colonial. So, in the case of the British, it was the oil under your feet is ours. In the case of the United States, it's your national waters are ours, or your aspirations are ours. I don't even know what it is. It's very colonial.
Yes, for sure. And I want to address this question, which was brought up. Is a very good one.
This is a good question.
More the Pahlavis or the Mujahideen Khalq? The Mujahideen Khalq, because the Pahlavis left. They absconded. They Reza Shah or Mohammed Reza Shah Pahlavi just left and took all the money. But the Mujahideen Khalq resisted. First was with the revolution, then fought against the revolution, then allied with Saddam Hussein and helped the Iraqis butcher Iranians and helped the Iraqis gas Kurds. And then they went to Albania and helped the Israelis and the Americans continue their hybrid war, killing Iranian nuclear scientists, doing terrorism, bombing, everyone in Iran hates the Mujahideen Khalq. Everyone, without question. Okay, some people might say Pahlavi with some nostalgia, but very, very few. But everyone hates the Mujahideen. They are the worst of the worst traitors. The worst of the worst traitors.
I mean, the Pahlavis can live out. We don't like them. They're crazy, but they can live out in the open. And the MEK is sequestered to a base in Albania. Okay?
Correct.
Because they're like literally like ISIS.
They are a cult. They are a cult.
You can't let them like out into the general population.
They are the worst. They are the worst. And yes, they are like the Iranian Efialtis. Yes, exactly.
So also going on in that region, interestingly, is that the other day, for some reason, they published the press office, but Netanyahu's press office published that he had secretly visited the UAE.
Whoa, bum.
Interesting, right? So yeah. So I believe that Channel 12 reported it, and his press office confirmed it. The UAE came out immediately from their government and denied it. The UAE is furious, and today Netanyahu doubled down on it again, saying that the Emiratis asked him to keep it confidential, and Netanyahu agreed until he found out that former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett was scheduled to visit the UAE the next day to meet with MBZ and senior officials as well. So there was a secret meeting. Okay, so let's try to untangle this. This is always so interesting with Israel. So there was a secret meeting between Netanyahu and MBZ. They agreed to keep it a secret. Netanyahu finds out that they actually also had a meeting with Bennett. Why, I don't know. And so he decided to come forth with this idea. Do you think the meeting happened at all?
In the UAE? 100% happened.
Okay, so you think that Netanyahu did say that. Do you think that the Naftali Bennett meeting was also supposed to happen? Why would they meet with Naftali? Right. No. So this puts the
reset. Yes.
Yeah. So this puts them in a pickle to where they either have to deny that they've invited both. Like they either have to come. Yeah. This puts them on the back foot. Very interesting. So that
this is the real 5D chess at play.
Right. It kind of is. It puts them in a situation where they're like, how do we admit here? Do we come out and outright say Israel's a liar? Well, maybe. But today, a UAE, was it a nuclear plant, was blown up?
Yeah, one of the stations or whatever. One of the
Baraka nuclear power plant in the Dhafra region. Right. So this was struck by drones, but it only hit a transformer, like a little or a power generator. UAE says the drones came from the west. Iran is to the east of the UAE. So is Benjamin Netanyahu saying, there's a little, I'm just throwing it out there.
They're trying to isolate the UAE now to try to make them only rely on Israel and the US. That's what I've heard. There's a project of isolation.
And they're isolating them from China?
Yes. Yes. There's a lot.
So
there's a lot of
warning shot. Yeah, because they didn't hit anything valuable at the nuclear plant. If Iran was going to hit their nuclear plant, why would they hit the power generator? They'd hit the plant.
Or at least they'd hit something closer by,
Right. And they haven't struck anything nuclear. And then the UAE says the drones came from the west. All in a while MBZ and Netanyahu are kind of in a little bit of a petty spat. And this is a petty strike on a power generator at a nuclear plant.
I don't know. What do you make of it?
I don't know. I mean, it's petty, but it is the intrigues in this war are very interesting because it is playing out like a telenovela. Not with the Iranians. The Iranians just do their thing and make statements here and there. But with the Saudis, I just finished reading a book called Blood and Oil, which gave me a bit of insight on the Saudi regime, the UAE. There's a lot of interesting political intrigues going on in those sort of kingdoms.
Oh, for sure.
And
no doubt
with Netanyahu coming, and then as I mentioned in the beginning, there's also that sort of Israeli split between the Adelson and Lauder clan. So there's a lot of, I guess maybe we keep saying, nothing ever happens, but it's all kind of soap opera, like digest.
It is soap opera there, for sure. For sure. Well, there's also the growing hostility between Saudi Arabia and the UAE. We'll see if that boils over. That's going to be very interesting to see.
And then today, Israeli public broadcasting did report that Israel and the United States are raising their alert level amid possibility of renewed strikes on Iran. That was just before the stream started. According to an Israeli official, if Trump approves renewed attacks, the strikes will be carried out jointly by both militaries. The plan under discussion reportedly includes targeting Iran's national infrastructure. Also on that, what was that, Face the Nation or Meet the Press? Sorry, they're the same exact show. Lindsay did talk about wanting to bomb the power plant.
The nuclear power plant?
Yeah, here he is.
So you're calling for strikes on the energy infrastructure, Senator?
I'm calling to hurt this regime. If you do the same old thing, you're going to get the same results. Hurt them more. Maybe they'll make a deal if you hurt them enough. But right now, I think they're trying to wait us out. I think they're playing games. And in the words of the president, I think they're crazy. I think he's right.
Senator, the goal of...
So they're on board to strike the power plant. So that's where we're at as of right now.
Somebody asked a very good question. Yes, next week is Eid.
Oh, no. Well, not no, but...
Yep.
Thanks for asking. That was a good
next
idea.
week is
Jewish holidays coming up.
That I don't know. But for sure, we have big Muslim holidays coming up, and shortly thereafter,
Ashura is in June.
Ashura. Yeah, we're getting into the month of Muharram, Ashura, and then we get into the period going into Arba'in. So
Arba'in, my favorite.
Back to Iraq, maybe for us. Who knows?
Oh, and guys, if you read all the shots, then it goes into a good background of Imam Ali, Imam Hussein, and why they kind of matter to the Iranian people. It makes a lot of sense for a Westerner.
Yes.
I know for Chris is like, this is kindergarten stuff. But yeah, you guys, it'll help you understand. Thankfully, we do still have some decent journalists left that did press Trump on his plane gaggle. I think this is from the BBC.
Cooper of CENTCOM was asked yesterday about the strike on the girls' school on the first day of the war.
Oh, it's under investigation. You're talking about the original gun.
It was the only case of investigation at the moment into civilian casualties.
I think we have a couple of things under investigation, but that is under investigation.
Are you able to confirm that it was a U.S. missile?
Were you with?
BBC for the radio.
Fake BBC, even the ones that put AI in my mouth, the ones that gave me. That had me saying a statement that they now admit was not true. That the ones that put terrible words in my mouth and then had to admit that it was fake. The ones that are being sued now for $5 billion and don't know what to do. You with BBC? They're another fake outfit, yes.
Fake outfit. There you go. I mean, I was there. I went to Minab. Everyone can see the videos that I've made, the pictures, the stories that I have from Minab. 100% United States. 100%. I mean, we have the evidence all there. And the U.S. has tacitly admitted to it, but it is the U.S. It is the U.S. And every Iranian believes the U.S. deliberately targeted that school. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a mistake.
One more clip from that press gaggle, again with an attack, but this is the New York Times.
Repeating the bombing. You did it for 38 days. No, we did. And you did not get the political changes in Iran. No, I had a total military victory. And not a fake news. Guys like you write incorrectly. You're a fake guy. And guys like you write about it incorrectly. We had a total military victory. We knocked out their entire Navy. We knocked out their entire Air Force. We knocked out all of their anti-aircraft weaponry. We knocked out all of their radar. We knocked out all of their leaders, number one, and then we knocked out all of their leaders in the 2nd Division, and we knocked out numerous of their leaders in the 3rd Division. And they're very confused. We've had a total victory, except by people like you that don't write the truth. You know, you should write. I actually think it's sort of some treasonous what you write, but you and the New York Times and CNN, I would say, are the worst.
On another war.
You should know better. Your editors tell you what to write, and you write, and you should be ashamed of it.
Little bit of another war. Is there any
I actually think it's treason when you write like they're doing well militarily and they have no Navy, no Air Force, no anti-anything. By the way, we knocked out 85% of their manufacturing of missiles. We knocked out everything. We haven't knocked out other than one bridge that we did because they misbehaved. But we have bridges we could knock out. We could knock out their bridges and their electrical capacity within 2 days. We could knock out the whole thing. And then I read the New York Times and they act like they're doing well. And everybody does it. That's why your subscribers are way down. You know, the Times subscribers are way down because it's fake.
Did you discuss Ukraine?
Way down.
Did you discuss Ukraine?
They do. I think they actually try to get insulted by him now. It's like kind of like a, let's see what we can get him to say at this point.
Well, also because it puts their brand up there too. It's a kind of.
True. But I thought it was interesting. You know, who else is in a war with the New York Times is Israel and the Zionist community, because they published the story of, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say the things that what's going on in Israel with what's going on with the prisoners.
It's horrific.
And so Max Blumenthal did a really good interview on Judge Napolitano about it, and they went into detail. But yeah, pretty horrific thing. So since the New York Times published that, we're back into a war with the New York Times and their treasonous. So yeah, that's I think that's all I can take for Trump this week or this weekend anyway, for today. But yeah,
we'll see what's coming up. I think we have an ad to do, and then we're going to do super chats.
Oh yeah, you got an ad. Let's see. Chris has got an ad. Are you reading the video? Here we go.
Hey.
Bear with us.
Greetings, everyone. A few weeks ago, I covered Saga Metals trading as SAGMF in the US and Saga in Canada, a company I've featured many times on the channel. We're revisiting the story much sooner than expected. And why? A lot has happened in a very short period of time. Major developments are unfolding, and it looks like they've had another home run. Let's break it down together. What they've done in less than 6 months has changed the scale of the company. And less than 48 hours ago, they achieved 100% drill success rate in all 57 drill holes ahead of schedule. And that's just the beginning. The company added $10 million to its bank account from a successful financing round dedicated entirely to drilling, adding serious fuel to an already accelerating program. When you step back and look at what Saga has achieved, in less than 6 months, the pace is hard to ignore. 100% hit rate across all drilling at the Radar project, an area being positioned as a potential host to one of the largest titanium systems ever identified in North America. 2, a strategic titanium acquisition scooped from under $100 billion mining giant Rio Tinto, located in the same district as the largest titanium mine in the world. 3, and just last month, the acquisition of the Wolverine project. That project sits along the same billion-dollar coast as the Voisey Bay's discovery, one of the most significant mineral discoveries in history. When you step back and look at the momentum building, the first half of 2026 is already been highly active, and the second half is looking set to be even more exciting. You might ask, how can all of this be achieved in such a short span of time? The reason is simple. America's defense supply chain depends on titanium. That's why Washington has already committed $12 billion through Project Vault, alongside additional federal support aimed at securing domestic and allied supply. In less than 12 months, the U.S. has taken a series of major steps to rebuild and secure critical mineral supply chains, including Executive Order 14241, the launch of Project Vault, and a State Department ministerial bringing together 55 foreign ministries focused directly on critical minerals. As the U.S. and its allies move to secure the future, Saga Metals is positioning itself directly where the money, the mandates, and the momentum are flowing. They're exploring the exact materials that sit at the foundation of advanced aerospace, next-generation technologies, and stealth technology in particular, the unseen backbone of modern defense and aerospace. And the reality is increasingly clear. North America needs what it does not currently have, and the direction of travel from Washington is becoming more defined. Onshore it, secure it, fund it, mine it. I'll leave you with this. One of the standout aspects of Saga Metals' achievements over the past 6 months is scooping another titanium project from under Rio Tinto, a company roughly 3,500 times larger by market value. This takes skill, patience, and execution. Look at the numbers, you do the math. If you want to learn more about this critical mineral story, check out the link in the description. A special thanks to Saga Metals for making today's video possible. Listen,
I love our viewers. They're so funny. Are we the no, we're poor.
No, of course not. Listen.
We gotta make the bills.
Listen, the point of Saga Metals is that I saw Saga Metals in Esfahan. So I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I do like the fact that they are undercutting and pulling the rug out from under Rio Tinto, because fuck Rio Tinto. But
I'm just saying, listen, titanium goes from these holes, and then the Iranians just
half the world. I love that quote. That's one of my favorite quotes.
In Persian, Esfahan, Nesfa Jahan. Esfahan is half the world. So there you go. But listen, don't worry. Listen, we are just DD Geopolitics. Enjoy.
We're vibing.
Information. Who cares? Do you think I own any stocks?
Yeah, right.
The only stock I own is called DD Geopolitics.
We'll be public someday. The super chats. Thank you, Hummus. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hummus.
The show live again. Long live the resistance. We're still here, still alive. Thank you for your membership and always supporting us, Will.
Thank you, Will.
U.S. will lose the AI war simply because they don't have the energy infrastructure. People pretend AI is doing it. Exactly. And it was interesting that Kevin O'Leary did talk about that a little bit in that interview. And Tucker actually presses him on the fact that we can't win in the energy war right now. It's interesting. So they kind of get it and they kind of don't. I really love this. That's what I love about the IRGC. Ahead of schedule and under budget. It's what you said, that they'll have a nuke in 30 minutes. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Here is a Greek comment that I don't.
So it says, Χριστάρα τι λες για την Οδυσσέα του Νόλαν. Of course, I haven't seen it yet. Εγώ δεν το έχω δει, αλλά ελπίζω να το δω σε κάποιες εβδομάδες, σε 2-3 μήνες, δεν ξέρω πότε θα είναι online, αλλά θα το δούμε. Σιγά σιγά θα το δούμε, αλλά κοίτα, το έχει αλλάξει. Αυτά που έχω ακούσει το έχει αλλάξει και είναι διαφορετικά και έχει κάνει τα δικά του. Αλλά θα τα δούμε.
Enough of that. Opa!
Hey, Opa! I can speak another language.
You're so lucky. Actually. I wish I could speak Greek. I'd say it's all Greek to me. When is Sarah going to convert to Islam? I have interesting news on that front. So while we were in Iraq, we started the Shia Catholic Alliance, which we also extended to the Orthodox brothers and sisters. But the thing that has everybody kvetching recently is that my beloved Pope, Pope Leo, who wears Air Force Ones, gave an award, the Order of St. Pius IX, to Ayatollah. I am going to mess up his name. So
you better not.
I'm going to. So I better. What was his name? To Ambassador Mohammed Hossein Makhtari.
Ah, perfect. You did a good job.
Mohammed, yeah, he is the ambassador to the Vatican. And so the Shia Catholic Alliance is going strong. It's really upsetting the Israelis and the Zionists and the American evangelicals. So anybody that is interested in the Shia Catholic Alliance, please come forth.
We are
Shia because we're basically the same.
Listen, Shia Catholic Orthodox Alliance. That's it.
Catholic Orthodox Alliance. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Any Christian before 1054, I like. That's Orthodox. Any Christian that comes after, not as liturgical as I like.
Thank you very much, Philip de Rousseau and Esfahan Nesvejahan. We love you too, Starline.
Nice. Your Persian is getting very nice.
I know, because I was doing the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Well, that's Arabic, but that's okay. They are all, they're
Persian accent, because I'm practicing my Persian accent. E. Michael Jones is one of I love E. Michael Jones. I'm an E. Michael Jones stan. If you guys don't know who E. Michael Jones is, if you're Shia or Roman Catholic or even Orthodox Christian, you should check him out. He is an Irish Catholic American with a lot of opinions. A lot of opinions. He's an older guy. He's a little curmudgeon-y, which makes him special. That's why we love our older gentlemen like Brother Nathaniel, E. Michael Jones, Dugan. Even these guys bringing wisdom and very loud opinions to the table. We love them.
Listen, I've met Dugan multiple times in real life. He's a great guy, very nice, very kind, very sweet.
Yes, we love Dugan. I do love Uncle Dugan, Uncle Sasha. But again, guys, check out the Substack if you haven't. Learn about our new overlords. I'm not going back to X Spaces just yet. Our new overlords and our old overlords. And don't forget Wednesday.
Wednesday better be here.
I need to get a hold of the new edition because I want to see how he ties it into January. Well, we'll just ask him. I'll ask him and then I'll read it anyway. So, guys, grab a copy. You could get it before Wednesday, or find the old edition online and read up on it. But it really, really is an incredible book. And even as a veteran, Chris probably saw more than me in the Army, but as a veteran, it really opened my eyes to the type of people that are inside of our armed forces and what goes on in these war zones, particularly to civilians of the nations that we invade. Really horrendous and heinous stuff. And we'll get into all that on Wednesday.
We have salam from Tehran, Iran. Salam to Iran and to Tehran and to all of our beautiful.
We love Iran.
Yes, of
Stay
course.
strong. We love you guys.
Inshallah, we'll be back soon.
We will be back on Wednesday, Habibi.
Well, no, Tehran.
Oh, to Tehran, hopefully. The book wasn't recently written, but the new edition came out in March. So there is a new tie-in. Yes. Okay, guys, you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Chris is looking extra Iranian today.
I got the look. I like this look, by the way. I like not wearing like a shirt with buttons and a tie. I like this whole like black turtleneck, like Shia kind of mogging, and then like a vest.
Then you put the blazer on, yeah.
Perfect. We're good to go.
Oh, we have our outro. And other than that, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will see you all on Wednesday. This is a hilarious outro. Apparently, we've colonized China. Love you guys.
That's love.
The Chinese have made major inroads into the American restaurant scene. But get this. There are over 20,000 McDonald's, Taco Bells, and KFCs in China. And they're growing every year by the thousands. And once the United States gets fast food into a country, that's it. Fried chicken, Big Macs, chalupas. They start listening to our music, watching our movies. They start marrying our women. I'm just kidding. We don't allow that. But that's basically now an American colony. We got them hooked, and it's pretty much over. The Chinese have a history of expanding and then collapsing, expanding and then collapsing. So Trump, the strategy is ride it out peacefully as they expand alongside them peacefully, and when they collapse, you feast on their carcass.